Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review, where this week another romance anime is going to be reviewed. And this week it's the turn of Sukitte Ii, or Say I Love You. This anime was made by studio Zexcs, a studio with which I had no experience at all. So I was filled with both anticipation and caution when starting Sukitte Ii. The main heroine of this anime is Mei Tachibana, and Mei is what you would call a loner. When she was in elementary school, she was wrongfully blamed for the death of the class pet, and her friends betrayed her and didn't defend her. Since then, Mei has been avoiding everyone, since friends only hurt you. That is until she meets Yamato Kurosawa, the popular guy of the school. Yamato is intrigued by Mei's character and keeps on approaching her, and one day, by a sudden turn of events, he kisses her. This causes Mei to develop feelings for Yamato and they become a couple. And now Mei has to adapt to this new, more popular status, and that's increasingly difficult for her. My first positive point is the main topic of this anime being coming of age. If you're familiar with my reviews, then you will have definitely noticed my love for coming of age animes. I just love seeing characters going through a difficult period in their lives, because it delivers so much characterization and usually is the foundation for some drama. And Sukitte Ii is a pure coming of age anime. This whole anime is about Mei learning to accept these feelings she has for Yamato, and that there are people out there who can actually be your friends. And in this case, I felt a real bond because I could relate to Mei. Not that I have been through anything as bad as Mei, but I know how it feels to be backstabbed by people who you thought were your friends. So overall, an anime that uses coming of age will always have that little bit extra positive in my review. The second positive thing about this anime were several of the characters and the impact that they had on the storyline and the main relationship. Let's start with our main male character, Yamato. In terms of personality, he was the most interesting character. On one side, Yamato is a guy who's too good for this world, and because of that, he's also a complete idiot at times. Yamato's big problem is that he wants to do good for everyone, but doesn't realize how it affects the people closest to him. There are several times in this anime where he's blind when it comes to seeing the real reason why these characters ask him for help. He wants to help them, but he fails to see how by that he's hurting Mei, and of course that wasn't very beneficial to the fragile spirit of Mei. It takes other characters like Aiko to straight up tell him in his face what he is doing wrong. And on top of that, I also found Yamato to be a little bit of a hypocrite. When he was flirting with other girls, he saw that as normal, also because of him being an idiot. But then when another guy starts to show interest in Mei, he acts like he owns her. So I was glad that that shot back into his face, because it put him at the other side of the gun, and it helped him to understand how Mei felt in these type of situations, which he found perfectly normal. Which brings me to the second character, being Aiko. Apparently she was the only one who could see the real reason behind especially Megumin's advances towards Yamato. And if it wasn't for her, the relationship between Mei and Yamato would have certainly crashed and burned. And the last character I want to mention here is Kai. I found Kai to be a great character because he's not the selfish bastard male rival character that is so typical for romance animes. More than that, he is the catalyst that drove Mei and Yamato's relationship into the next level, because he pushed Yamato with his nose on the facts and again helped him to understand what he was doing wrong. Because of that, he reminded me a lot of Kento from Kimi ni Todoke. And in another way, Kai reminded me of Hiroto Suwa from Orange. Despite his feelings for Mei, he doesn't want to destroy the relationship, but he wants to help it thrive. Now, Suwa did this on a whole other level, which makes him one of my all-time favorite male characters and winner of last year's GV Anime Award for Best Male Character. But Kai showed lots of resemblance with Sua, and I can only respect characters who put others before themselves. Now there was another character that I liked a lot less, being Megumin. Megumin was a despicable character. She is the worst of the worst. I really hate that type of people who act all friendly in your face, but whose only goal is to bring you down. It has only been 3 weeks since my review of Sukitte Ii, where I made a whole rant part about people trying to destroy relationships and steal one of the lovers away. So despite the sad backstory of Megumin, which honestly was to be expected, I still despised her. Now, besides my personal dislike for Megumin, also overall I had a problem with her character, being that in contrary to Kai, Megumin was a typical female rival character. The way how she acted, and especially how her story was concluded in the second to last episode, was something that I have seen so many times before. Romance animes can't seem to leave a bitch character being a bitch character. So as a conclusion, Sukitte Ii was a good romance coming of age anime that had some surprising elements in terms of the characters, but it remains one of those romance animes that doesn't really jump out of the crowd. So overall I'm going to rate Sukitte Ii at 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a nice addition to my romance anime collection, but it's not one that shines amongst the rest of them. Earlier I mentioned that Hiroto Suwa is one of my all-time favorite male characters, so I definitely recommend watching Orange. Now Orange is one of those animes that gets a lot of critique in the anime community, and yes, it had its flaws. But if you can look past that like I did in my review, I will put a link to that in the description, you get an anime that's coming of age poured into an anime. The story is awesome, the characters were intriguing, and the way how it uses a socially difficult topic was unlike anything I've seen in anime. Orange was my anime of the season summer 2016 and came in second for my award for best seasonal anime last year, so I highly recommend watching it. And with that I conclude my review of Sukitte Ii. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. Then I will say, arigatou gozaimasu, and I will see you all in the next video.